Okay, guys, sorry. It wasn't like I was trying to put in my stuff for my thing and it kept like not saving and it would delete it. I don't know, it's hard to explain. But yeah, I finally got it. Because it was saying it was saved and then it wasn't. Usually it would just say like, "Oh, it's not ready," but this would say like saved and then when I would go back this stuff didn't save. But I'm here. I'm here. All right. So you guys ready to go through this? Maybe you guys could help me. I think I figured out all the when I was reading the search warrant at first, like, what does that say? I think I figured it all out, but I don't know. When we go through it, maybe there might be a few things that I can't read. I don't know. All right, so let's do this. Let me take a sip of my coffee though. Where does everybody stand on this case now? How many think that hold on, let me take another sip. How many think that he's innocent? Anybody? Because I know there's like a big group of people that are thinking he's innocent. I'm just curious, like, what's the percentage? Well, you know what we have to do for that? We just have to do a poll. And then we'll figure it out. Okay, hold on. I just want to see where everybody. You know what? I should have been keeping track. I need to start writing it down to see how things change because I think I did a poll on that before. And oh, I checked the results of that poll from the Murdoch poll. So it was like a little bit like 50 something, like maybe 56 or something around that think it was the contact wound. I think there was the head. I think more people were leaning towards thinking, but it was pretty even. I mean, it wasn't like by a lot. So um I don't know. I kind of don't know for sure either. It's like that angle doesn't make sense where I think it's the contact wound, but then how if Alex is the only shooter, how didn't he have stuff all over him? He wouldn't have time to clean himself out off all that. I feel like. All right, hold on, let me get this pull up and then we'll go over it. Okay, so I'll just ask, do you think he's innocent or guilty? I guess. Or wait, how can I do it? Wait. Do you think hold on. Do you think or innocent? Wait, I'll just put Bryan Kohberger is that's how I'll word it. Is innocent. Wait, it's not letting me. Guilt. It doesn't give you a lot of letters. Guilty, had help. I don't know if is this gonna get too confusing. So I put innocent, and then I almost want to do an innocent and like framed. If you think he was framed, um, you know, um, yeah, I know it's I know we. I'll just put framed, and then in other innocent. I don't know. Just is that gonna be too hard? So innocent, like where he's just innocent, don't know what happened, or innocent where somebody framed him, or guilty, he did it all himself, or guilty, he had help. Those are the options. Okay. Um, yeah. I'm still not happy with God, that they did it so quick. I don't know why that keeps bothering me. Like, you want to think that they went over all the stuff and really, deliberated and really went over everything and made a really good judgment. But I'm sorry, 2 hours is not long enough. All right, so let's do this. All right, so let's get in this case is I know we just got back from the Murdoch live stream, but let's try to like focus on this case now. Um, so because sometimes it gets confused. I mean, you guys could do whatever you want. You guys can talk about whatever you want, but sometimes it just does get confusing for the chat. But whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna just try to focus on this one. Um, but it says Brian Austin. Wait, you're messing with me, right? You said I thought the poll is for Alex. Didn't I put Brian? Is Brian Kober? So wait, did I spell that? Yeah. So wait, how can that mean Alex? You're being silly now. Being silly. Now, if I just said he is, then we could get. Oh, I thought you were talking about the poll. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was talking about Alex, I know, but now I'm like, "Okay, let's get in Brian for it." So, no, that's why I'm not everybody's fine, let's just try to get in Brian. I'm as guilty as you guys, I was talking about it too. Alright, and that's why I wanna try to just stay focused, because then when I start talking, people don't know who I'm talking about. So if I just try to stick with one, I'll be, like, talking about, like, he, and they'll be like, "Wait, are you talking about Alex or Brian?" Oh, yeah. Hey, Peridot Eyes, hey! How are you? Um Wait, I spelled it wrong? No, I put Brian. Yeah, we are talking about Brian, Sandy. Oh, you guys are confusing me now. Um, yeah, Brian. We're talking about Kohberger. Is that not my title though? I did change it. Wonder if it didn't show up. No, it's in my title. Okay. Yeah. Um, No, oh, Tony, because I was talking about the poll from, the last live. I was giving you the results from the poll from the last live. Ooh, member for how 21 months, Peridot Eyes, thank you. Hello, I wish I would have watched the verdict live with you. It is in your title, by the way. Oh, it didn't like, on mine, it's showing the right one. I just checked, but maybe for some, if you didn't maybe if you refresh it, because I had to switch them around because I was originally doing Brian first, and I had to switch it around. Um, and maybe some of them didn't fully process yet, but let me see. Because if I want to make sure I got it right, hold on. Because mine's showing the right thing now. Yeah, mine's showing I'm live for Brian, and the other one was, yeah, it went in good. Okay, okay, so let's do this. Stop Brian is in your title and your pool. I'm just confused. Oh, okay, okay, fair enough. It's all good. It's all good. I'm probably making it more confusing. Hey, Miss Dog Lover. Um, you need to laugh. Tony. Okay, let's do this. Hey, T Rev. Both of them? Wait, what are you saying both of them to? Um, I know, it's shock. I think we are still in like that zone. I know. Daryl Brooks, really? Huh. Oh no, Lavina. Get better. Yes, I'll say Brian, Brian, Brian. Okay, I'm gonna get the warrant up so we so we have it. Okay. So go Batman! Study tips, what's up? Missy, hi again. No, Juliet, don't start that. No, you're gonna get Brian Laundrie spelled with a Brian now, so uh, and then there's that Brian Walsh, right? It wasn't that his name too for the Anna Walsh case? Oh, lordy. Um, okay, so Brian Enton, yeah. You guys are silly. Alright, let's focus, guys. Okay, so here so this is the one for his parents. I wanna see if I do it yeah, huh. I don't know which way's better. This way, this way. I feel like this way's bigger, but then sometimes it's blocking it, I don't know. Okay, so we have here we go, yeah. So, Bryan Kohberger, 11/21. Ooh, wait, wait, wait. Oh, never mind. That was oh my lord. I just like had a really wow, never mind. Really weird moment for a minute. Um, December 31st, 2022. I didn't even realize it was New Year's Eve. Huh. So 29th day, or wait, wait, and then the warrant should be served on December 31st. Okay. Um, Property seized. Okay, so I'm not gonna read all of this. I'm just gonna read the part where what they got. Okay, guys. Okay. So here it is, the receipt for property. Okay, so we have knife, book with underlining on page 118. I'd like to. That'd be interesting to see what was underlined on 118. Wonder what it is. What do you guys think? AT&T bill for Brian C. Kohberger, Glock 22 Gen 5, 40 caliber, serial number, blah, blah, blah. Smith& and Wesson pocket knife, folder containing vehicle paperwork, Acer laptop model number, blah, 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 green leafy substance in green container, documents, green leafy substance in in plastic bag, white paper with password, power cable, cell phone, 3 Glock 40 caliber magazines, empty, books, black face masks, prescription, black gloves, 1 black hat and 1 black mask, personal identifying documents. Let me see if I can make one more bigger. There we go. New Balance shoes, dark colored jackets. I don't know if that's a plural or jacket or jackets. Dark jacket, dark colored jackets. Is that what it's all saying? Dark colored jackets, dark colored shirt, dark colored shirt, dark colored shirt, dark colored shirt. I think, yeah, dark colored pants, dark colored pants. When this is crossed off where it says one something laptop, blah, 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 clear plastic glove, one Asus laptop with damage, one HR or wait, HP laptop. Wow, he had a lot of computers. Laptop with damage, I think it's saying. Um, Juice? Oh, wait. No. Or did it? Did it? Are you joking? I never know when you're joking. Aw, sane. Um, yeah, they're all dark clothes because I mean, they're getting those because, the witness that saw him, he had all dark clothes on, so they're probably gonna test for DNA on all those clothes. Oh, you're welcome, Dancing Danielle. Yeah, it is. I wanna know more about that for sure. Mark, what? You're silly. Okay. No, you don't have to apologize. I was saying I just never know when you're joking. Okay. One laptop with damage, uh, something application, record of sale Glock 22, 40 caliber. So something application in the record of sale. Item photographed but not taken. Well, what's the item? So there's an item photograph not taken. I don't know what it is. Note in desk, criminal psychology book, documents and DeSales University notebook, XL Columbia Navy fleece, a man's hand drawing, ID cards inside your glove box, various criminology books, note license card, dark color hat, black gloves. I can see it better on this computer. When it's too big, sometimes it's hard. Secret something, I 1 terabyte Samsung solid state drive. It's a type of computer. So Seagate's, whatever that is, it's a Samsung solid state drive. Black box Samsung and 60 box with Intel. And he's got a lot of computers. Two two something of black gloves, 1 black knit hat. 2 pairs of black gloves, 1 black knit hat, dark green short sleeve shirt, black long sleeve shirt, black sweatshirt, gray jacket, 2 pairs of black pants, 1 pair of black jeans, 2 pairs of black jeans, 2 black long sleeve shirts, 2 pairs of black pants, 1 gray jacket, 1 gray knit hat, 1 gray knit something hat, 1 black glove. A lot of gloves, huh? Well, yeah. So, dude, so like all these gloves, I wonder. I mean, if he wore gloves when he killed them, there would have been blood all over him. I'm sure he threw those ones away. Don't you think? 1 motherboard, something. I don't know. Washington State University paperwork, note from Bryan from Montana, craftsman shop back, medical documents, court documents, note to dad from Bryan, maroon colored spiral notebook, dark color clothes, HP all-in-one computer, Lenovo IdeaPad laptop S something, just another laptop, and password. Let's see, something model. I don't know. Is that another computer or something? Kind of electronics. Dark clothes and laundry basket. Taylor something knife and leather sheath. Oh, Taylor cutting knife and leather sheath. Swab S1, swab S2, swab S3, swab S4. 2 pairs of dark color boots, 1 pair of brown boots. Nothing follows. So I wonder, what was it? A Vans? Wait, remind me of the logo on the print. Wasn't it a Vans logo? A Vans thing for the shoe print? Why do I have a Vans in my head? Am I remembering that right? Because they were like specifically looking for a pair of those shoes. I don't think they found him at his house. Because remember going through the search warrant of what they found in his house, and there was none of those shoes, right? So, oh my god, a black hat knife. Is he the one who stole from OJ? Oh my god, you're funny. Yeah. I don't know. All those laptops, I know. He's got a lot. Hey, psychedelic 1995. What up? Um, all right. No, it wasn't. Hold on a second. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So let's see if there's anything else in here. There's not really. And then the stuff that I had read on my short that I made where it was basically what he had on it looks like. And then there was like a flashlight. Let me bring that up. Why isn't that in this though? Why is that separate? Look. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hold on. Let me just go through this. So here's all the ones items to be searched. So this is kind of what they were looking for. Blood or bodily fluids, materials. It's basically the same stuff as the other one from his house. Um, so it'd be interesting to see like all that, like the DNA and the hair strands that they found at his apartment, like whatever comes of that. Do you think there'll be anything that comes of that? There was like the darks, like maroon, like where they thought it might be blood on his pillow. They had the hair strands. They had the dog or pet hair or whatever. Um, from his apartment that they got. I just wonder if they're gonna find any of the victim's DNA anywhere in all that. And, like, in his car, like, how I keep going over my head, how did he stab I mean, kill 4 of them like he did, and then somehow not track a ton of blood out, and then somehow not have any blood or DNA in his car when he goes right into his car after that? Like, did they find anything? I know we don't know yet, but I feel like it's gonna come out that they didn't maybe. I hope they did, but if not, like, how did he transfer like, how did he go in his car and not leave anything? I don't understand in his car. Like, I don't care how careful you are, like, there's gonna be something, don't you think? I guess he could've I think we were talking about this before, where he could've maybe taken off all his clothes, put him in a bag before he got in the car, but then that's risking somebody seeing him. Like, would he have done that? And then how didn't he track like, how okay, I have a question. How bloody do you think he would have had like, on himself? Like, do you think he would have been covered in blood, or is a possibility that he could have done what he did and not been full of blood? That's why I'm not sure. I mean, I've never never done that myself, so I don't know how bloody you would actually really get. You think? It doesn't say, Juliet, about what was underlined, unfortunately. I needed to watch him from day one. Yeah. Is that what you were talking about? Yeah, it doesn't say. I wish it did. They're gonna find nothing on any I know that's what I'm thinking, but, like, it doesn't make sense. How the heck did they freaking how did he go from his car? I mean, he would have had to have been covered in blood, don't you think? Like, I could see maybe, if they really all were sleeping, but we know that Xana and Ethan were awake, and they probably put up a fight. So, with them putting up a fight, like, you would think he would have been have, like he would have a lot some blood on him from that, you know? So here's that, yeah, right here, it doesn't say. I know, I want it like, the book was underlining on page 118. So we're gonna have to wait for the trial to see. Yeah. Yeah, but still, you don't think he woulda I mean, I guess if he put, like, plastic on his seats or something maybe? I guess it's possible. I guess it's possible. Definitely. Um, alright, let's see if there's any I think that's about it, guys. I just wanted to read it to you guys and get your thoughts. So then here's the oh, thanks, Miss Dog Lover. Hey, Zav, he was organized. I didn't leave a trace. He rehearsed it many times. He cleaned up and disposed of clothing and the knife on his way home. Yeah, where do you think he got rid of all that? Yeah, covered his car seat with plastic and removed and got rid of clothing on the way home. Yeah, I think that's a good thing. Laugh a day. Oh, that was Sharon. Thank you for your thoughts. And then laugh a day. If he hit the jugular, blood would squirt out, almost pour out. Plastic up like Dexter, perhaps. Yeah, scrap Al. He had something over him and took it off and put it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's like I could see that. Maybe even having plastic on his car seats. Had another layer of clothes underneath. Just took off the layer of clothes, put him in a bag, tied it up, put the knife. Um, and then where did he put the evidence? I don't know. Yeah, what is it, Courtney? Will you please vote for Mila on the link I sent on your Facebook page? Who's Mila? I don't know what you're referring to. But yeah, and then here's the affidavit. Let's see. I could probably go through some of the stuff some of the stuff the last week that was I made a pre-recorded, you guys, just if you wanna check it out, but there's, like, 4 or 5 things just the last week, just little updates, things that happen. News Nation is just, like, they have something new almost, like, every day on it. Nothing, like, groundbreaking, but they'll have, like, a little, information from a source or something, so, um who's Mila, though? Can somebody explain that? Am I the only one that doesn't know who that is? Covered his he better be guilty. Someone has to put that gas pedal back. Put the gas pedal back. Huh. Yeah. But who is it though? Yeah, maybe. Oh, so yeah, that was one of the things that came out here about him having like multiple I'm sure you guys seen if you're following the case, but him having multiple pictures of one of the girls. They won't say who, but here. Let's play some of this stuff. I was gonna like I said, I have it on my pre-recorded, but I'm not gonna just replay that, but let's see if there's let's do this. Oh wait, hold on. Uh, let's see what this says here. Let me share this. We'll watch a couple of videos here. Right. Share my screen. Share my screen. Let's see what this one has to say here.
Of what law enforcement took from Bryan Kohberger's car and parents' home. He's the man charged in connection with the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students. New unsealed documents revealing more items investigators took from Bryan Kohberger's car, as well as his parents' house. The 28-year-old is accused of killing University of Idaho students Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Xana Kronoodle, and Ethan Chapin back in November. The documents show investigators found a knife, a pocket knife, a Glock 22 handgun, 3 empty magazines, and a black face mask. They also took a book that underlined something on page 118. It's unclear what that book was or what was underlined, but a criminal psychology book was also listed among other items taken. The unsealed search warrants also mention authorities took a green leafy substance in a green container and plastic bag. The documents show they took 63 items total. Earlier this week, a Pennsylvania court unsealed a search warrant detailing other items taken from
Oh, that's what I was gonna.
his family home in Pennsylvania. Those items included a flashlight, 4 medical-style gloves, a t-shirt, and a black sweatshirt. Police arrested the 28-year-old in December at his parents' home in Pennsylvania. He is charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary. And I also spoke with criminal attorney and former Idaho Attorney General David Leroy about this. He says some of the items found show potential significance while others may not, and there's no way to tell at this point. But items like a laptop were also taken, and that could help investigators find out what websites Kohberger accessed and potentially who he was in communication with. Kohberger remains in a Latah County jail. He's awaiting his preliminary hearing, which is scheduled for June 26th. And we have those documents posted in its entirety at ktvb.com.
Okay, sorry guys. So yeah, let's see what else we got here. Okay, so we'll do the one where it talks about where's that? It's all about, what about this one? Did you guys see this one?
I have so much I need to talk to you about.
Fish cutter thing.
I don't even know where you want to start, but let's just start with this new reporting about another job that he lost, another firing. But this one was significant because he had professional training on how to fillet with an industry standard knife.
Yeah, this was really interesting. Our friend Jennifer Koffendorfer helped to dig this up. Basically, this goes back to 2011 from when Kohberger was in high school. He worked at that fish shop for about 4 months, and his job, and he was trained to cut and fillet raw fish. So he was handy with the knife, but he didn't do so well with the customers, as you mentioned. The owner of the shop said didn't really get along with customers, wasn't really polite to customers. The owner realized very, very quickly that he really wasn't a front of the house type employee. And essentially, he really just didn't work out at all. And after about 4 months, he no longer worked there anymore.
So let's move on to another topic because I find this also fascinating. So much is being done in secret in Idaho. I understand why there's a gag order, but it seems to be overwhelming. Like everything is falling under this gag order. And now we're learning of a secret meeting that happened about this gag order. What have you found out?
Yeah, so this meeting was actually about Ann Taylor, the public defender representing Kohberger. You know, there's been all these questions about whether there is a conflict because there were these, there was this reporting and her name was listed on the documents that had to do with Xana Kernodle's mother when she was arrested. And did she represent Xana Kernodle, and could she actually represent Bryan Kohberger too? Was that a conflict? Well, there was this Zoom meeting. It was back on January 27th between the judge, Kohberger was also involved, and Ann Taylor. And there is now a transcript that has just been released of what happened during that meeting. And it's very interesting, Ashley, and there is new information about this. Essentially, Ann Taylor told the judge that her name appears on every document in the public defender's office because she is the chief public defender. She says that Xana's mom had a different public defender, that Ann Taylor was not her lawyer, that she has never had any contact with Xana's mom, no relationship ever with Xana's mom, and never offered any legal advice to Xana's mom, and that there really is no conflict there. The judge seems to have agreed based on the transcript. Kohberger at the end of this meeting said that he still wanted Ann Taylor to be his public defender. And the meeting was ended, and apparently that's why things moved forward, and they decided there wasn't a conflict, Ashley.
What I find fascinating about that is if Ann Taylor were so confident of this, I was simply on the masthead of the documents as the head of the public defender office, then why did they send over a state police officer to interview Kara Kernodle in jail? Because we have discovered this. and flash pictures at her to see if she recognized Ann Taylor. If they were so confident that they hadn't represented her, why did they need to actually go into the jail and do a lineup for Kara Kernodle to identify whether she had or had not, worked directly with Ann Taylor? I think there's more to this story that we still need to figure out, but it's certainly fascinating to finally get a little sunlight on some court documents. Bryan Enton, thank you. And thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation.
Oh, okay. Juliet, do you want to come up and chat a little bit? I didn't realize how quick that was gonna, I was gonna get through that. And now you got me curious on what your theory. It's up to you, cutie. Come on up if you want. I'm trying to find another video because there was like the one video where. Oh wait, what's this? See what this is all about.
Attended a class with Kohberger.
Ooh, no music.
That doesn't seem to square with his image. And that is especially true to those who have been friends for years with the man now charged in the murders of 4 students at the University of Idaho. Chris Ingalls from our sister station in Seattle continues his reports from Kohberger's home state of Pennsylvania.
It's a long way away, but this part of eastern Pennsylvania feels a deep connection with the Idaho College murders. That's because the suspect, Bryan Kohberger, spent his teenage years here and most of his adult life before he moved to Washington State last summer. In December, people here were hit by a fact as cold and hard as steel, the once towering industry that fueled this part of Pennsylvania. One of their own was charged in a mass murder 2,500 miles away.
So I looked it up. I typed, Idaho murders, and then like, holy crap, that's Bryan. That's Bryan. I know Bryan. It's wild to me. It's a shock, seeing someone you've known on TV.
Jack Bayless met Bryan Kohberger in 8th grade when the two of them ran with a group of boys in this neighborhood near Albrightsville, Pennsylvania.
He wanted to be a cop.
It's up to you, Juliet. Would you rather wait, or now I feel like, shoot, we did decide where you're like, you'd rather wait. Now I'm putting you on the spot. I'm just saying, I wouldn't mind going, like, making this maybe an hour long. So I got 20 minutes. We could play videos and I could just chat and, ramble on my own thoughts. Or if you want to come up and talk, either way, I'm good either way. What would you prefer, honestly? Like, it's totally up to you. Either way, it'll be fine. I would love to have you up and chat, or if you'd rather wait for open panel. Or only because I've heard so many yeah, that's true. You'll wait. Okay. But you have to tell me behind the scenes because you got me curious about what you said earlier. About but I won't tell anybody. I'll keep it a secret, whatever it is. About the people being awake or whatever. Because I feel like he waited so long to make sure that they were, because like, why do you wait till like 4? Like, I feel like he waited so long because he wanted to make sure they were sleeping. But then it does go against the fact that DoorDash person, he would have had to see that, right? So he would know somebody's awake because he would see the DoorDash being delivered. Unless if he missed that, or unless if he was hoping they'd be awake, he waits till 4, he waits till 4. He is hoping, okay, I'm going to wait long enough, they'll be asleep. But then he sees the DoorDash and he's like, shoot, but he wants to still go with his plan because he has it all planned and he's all ready and he still wants to go along with the plan and just does it anyway. I don't know. That DoorDash thing, that confuses me, that part right there. One second. Okay. Um, they were saying there was an accident outside of his apartment where a girl ran over 2 people and the cops were there blocking him leaving until at 2 a.m., it was said. Wait, what? There was an accident outside of his apartment where a girl ran over 2 people and the cops were there blocking him leaving. I didn't even hear that. See, I haven't been like following everything on this case because I got sucked into the Murdoch. What? Can you? Okay. Okay, that night, you're saying that night, this is what's being said. I know maybe we can't prove it, but people are saying that night, a girl runs over 2 people. Are those 2 people okay? And has it been confirmed? I had no idea. Wow. I'm gonna continue this, and then I'm gonna.
She was younger.
What kind of teenager was he?
Oh.
He was pretty normal. He was definitely heavier set, and that caused issues in school, apparently.
But in high school, dramatic changes washed over Kohberger, according to several friends, including Bayless.
I believe it was the weight loss first. And I was, I want to say 14 to maybe 16, between there was the big weight loss. I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And then it was the drugs.
How did he get started in drugs?
He got in drugs via an acquaintance of his. It was definitely heroin. It was pretty gnarly.
Bayless doesn't know exactly when Kohberger got clean.
Last I saw him, he was pretty lucid.
But the two reconnected after Kohberger enrolled at DeSales University in Center Valley, right around the corner from Bayless's home. Kohberger's major, criminology.
He's always been kind of fascinated with kind of how the brain works and how people think and why they do what they do.
And so my senior year, I ended up in a biology class, which is where I met and interacted with Bryan Kohberger.
What were your first impressions of the guy?
Bryan seemed normal enough.
But that opinion did not last for Bernard James, a DeSales film student in 2018 when he attended a class with Kohberger.
One of the big parts of that biology class that we were in, we had a group project as a part of our final grade.
With 4 DeSales classmates on the project, Kohberger was chosen as team leader. Not surprising for the student DeSales professor Michelle Bolger called brilliant and one of the best students ever, according to an article in the Daily Mail. Dr. Bolger declined to comment to King 5. But to some classmates at the Christian University, Kohberger seemed more like a know-it-all.
The way that he came across in his speech, kind of person who has to use big words, the one always raising his hand in class.
And what happened then towards the end of this whole thing?
We're approaching the due date, and I was feeling like I was left out to dry.
Bernard James says Kohberger completed the class project without including him, resulting in a failed class in Bernard's final year at DeSales. He confronted Kohberger in the university library.
I remember him being very straight-faced, very almost emotionless with this. He kind of a small smile on his face. Like there's more to him than it seems. Very intense stare. I remember that. I'll never forget that. Looking right into my soul almost, as we were having this back and forth. Manipulative, cold.
Was he witnessing an odd personality trait or something more? After Kohberger's arrest, Bernard can't be sure.
I mean, it's not every day you expect to come into contact with someone who's accused of something like that, but I see it in some ways. I see the calculated side of him.
We're talking about 4 vicious stabbings here.
Yeah.
Could your friend have done this?
I hope he didn't do it. I'm a big believer in innocent until proven guilty. So I hope someone I know didn't do that,
Here in Pennsylvania, we've been unable to reach anyone from Kohberger's family. A public defender here who represented him during extradition proceedings has said that Kohberger looks forward to being exonerated in Idaho. In Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Chris Ingalls, King 5 News.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so let me play. Hold on a second. There was something I found when I was looking. Where is it? A couple interesting. Oh, that's too long right now. Play a couple short ones. Where'd it go? Yeah, and then he could be convicted. It says he could face a firing squad. That's another thing that people are talking about because there's a new bill that they're trying to pass where so basically if they can't get the drugs for lethal injection, which I guess is really hard to get for some reason. There's shortages and it's just hard to get because I guess they're coming from another country and they're just hard to get. So once they do the warrant for the death, they have 5 days to get it, and if not, then they're trying to pass a bill where then they could kill by a firing squad, and some say it's more humane because the lethal injections, there's so many implications, there's so many times that things went wrong where the person actually suffered like really bad for like 15 minutes or more, where it's like you get like this burning sensation from the potassium chloride. Am I saying that right? And it just you have to do it in like the right order and the right just exactly perfect, or you could have like pain. So they're saying like the firing squad is actually more humane way to do it. I don't know. I mean, who is alive that's been through it to say, oh, this one's less, this one's more. But I guess if they do everything right with the lethal injection and there's no complications, maybe that way's all right. But there's so many botched things that happen, I guess, that I didn't even realize it was happening. So it's a big issue. So, but if Bryan faces the death penalty, if that bill passes, depends on what happens, he could get either or. Let me play another video. I'm gonna find this one. 1 second. Wait, why is it coming? It's coming out on this one, but it's not on this side. So I'm gonna have to play it from this side, I guess. Hold on 1 second. I don't know why it's not showing up on my other computer. Play this one. Ooh. Hold on, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to find. Get my head. Oh, here's one. Let's play this. See what this one's about. Oh, this is the one I think I played. But it's about the about him having pictures and stuff of one of the victims, but they can't say who. Oh, I did do it. Okay. Share this real quick. Just chat. Now we'll chat for
accused murderer
more minutes.
Bryan Kohberger had photos of one of the victims. They were allegedly on his phone when he was arrested. Kohberger is accused of fatally stabbing 4 University of Idaho students last November. He was arrested more than a month after the crime in his Pennsylvania hometown. Caitlin Becker, senior reporter with the Daily Mail, has been following this case closely, joins us live. Thank you for being here, Caitlin. So there's this new development today. There are reports of Kohberger having these numerous pictures of one of the victims on his phone. Is this looking more like a potentially targeted attack?
Well, you know, from the jump, law enforcement said that this was a targeted attack, but they were never specific as to who the targeted victim was or whether or not it was the house itself that was targeted. Now, all along my research and my reporting, it seemed more and more likely that one of the female victims was the intended target. And this latest information just sort of further bolsters that theory. Everything that we've learned so far leads us to believe that Bryan Kohberger, the suspect, allegedly stalked the house several times, up to 12 times, according to the police affidavit, and according to sources, followed all 3 of the female victims on social media. So it does not surprise me to find out that he allegedly had these photos of one of the girls on his phone.
That's right. And Caitlin, we don't know yet which one of the victims he had these photos of, allegedly had these photos of. But what does this say about his potential fixation on at least one of the victims?
It makes a lot of sense to me based on everything I know about this case. The murders were very methodical. He allegedly slipped in and slipped out in less than 20 minutes. He basically went directly up to that 3rd floor, allegedly committed those 2 murders, then down to the 2nd floor and out the door. It seems to me that the target was likely on the 3rd floor. We know that the family of Kaylee Gonsalves, who was murdered on that 3rd floor, has said as much as well, that her father believes that she was likely the intended target. And throughout this investigation, it seems like Kaylee does keep coming up as a likely target, but you also have to remember that she was killed next to her best friend, Maddie Mogen, in the very same bed. And it was next to Maddie's body where that knife sheath was dropped. And that could indicate that that was the spot that the killer initially pulled the knife out of the sheath. And maybe
what new information,
right? And as you mentioned,
Chuck, what new information? Fill me in, because I'm not, I don't know. I haven't been like really into this case the last couple weeks. So is there new information that shows that? Can you elaborate, please? Mother was MPD. Dad probably became passive after all the financial issues. I don't know. You never know. I mean, it could just be not the case, but it could be, yeah. It just sucks because we don't know barely anything about him. And there's not really even that many pictures. There's not really a ton of information about him, probably because he led such a quiet, like not all over social media too much. And if he was probably under like somebody else, you know, not being himself. Okay, Enan. Okay. Yeah, his response, that response still, remember when we were watching that response, that when they asked if he killed them, that response just always never sat well with that Enan. His response to that was just so weird, which it could just be nothing, but I don't know. Well, we'll see if there's a connection. I pray the guy with a bullet is a good shot. Yeah, right. Hey, Cynthia Hughes. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that either, a laugh a day, if he just spent a lifetime. Like, to me, like, yeah, I mean, death penalty, I'm not like this, like, oh, I'm so against it, but I'm not really so for it too. I think life in prison is punishment enough. I mean, because I feel like they possibly even maybe suffer more. I know like the death penalty is pretty, I mean, that would be pretty sucky because never knowing when that day is going to come can make you like suffer more in misery. Like, oh my God, it could be any day. And it usually is put off for years. So they do have to at least suffer, for years. But I mean, I feel like either way, I'd be happy. Um, Hey Jenna, you don't think it's punishment enough? Um, yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure they'll be all right. I mean, I'm sure they'll make sure they get them. uh, yeah, that's one of the most common. That's what people are saying, like, because I mean, he was admitted what drug dealer, freaking has drug charges. So I mean, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I would hope that they did a good enough investigation that they were able to find that link. If there is a link, there's got to be some freaking trace like that they know each other, right? I mean, could they be that good that if he's buying drugs off of them that there's no trace? I guess they could be using burner phones. I mean, I guess they could. But somebody would have seen him over there or somebody would, right? Somebody. So I guess we'll see in the trial if there's some kind of connection. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? How many people think Enan is involved? Yeah, that's true. I know that's a lot of people's argument. They don't want to pay for him in prison, but um, I don't know. It sucks that we have to. Well, I guess if the trial's in June, it just sucks. We have to wait though to see if they found any connection or whatever. But if you would think though, if they did find a connection, like what? Oh no, they'd have to have enough information, like enough evidence that Enan was involved though. And maybe if the connection would just be like a check on theirs as like bad for their investigation to try to prove it was Bryan. But somebody would have to see something. That's what, God, we need witnesses. Like if he was going over there to buy drugs, I mean, wouldn't somebody have seen something? Maybe they did. Maybe they have that information. Yeah, I mean, it is. It really is. So, there was two what do you call them? Two inmates or whatever on the death row that actually requested the firing squad rather than the lethal injection. Like they wanted to do it that way. So, hey Jackie. Yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying. I'm not like real strong on either side. Like I'm not mad if they get it, but I don't feel like it's like, oh, you have to have it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like if they do, yeah, but if they don't, it doesn't bother me either way. Like I see both sides, but life in prison is worse knowing you will never be free. Yeah. Yeah, but usually it does take like years before they get, before you are put to death because you do all the appeals. But I just wonder if that like years just not knowing what date. I mean, that could be some horrible years, but then it's over. And then some people actually like thrive in prison, they get used to it and it's like their normal life. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, I could go back and forth. Um, what do you disagree, SR or SB9381? You disagree with what? Like cost, yeah, I know. I mean, that's one of the main arguments of people that don't. Oh, no, you're saying the other way. Oh, I see. Death penalty costs taxpayers more. I see. Okay. Chris Watts. But in a weird way, I feel like death penalty is an easy way out. Yeah, that's what I always think too. But then, like, when we were talking about this a few months ago, then I started thinking, well, wait, like those ones, like sometimes it takes like 10, 15, 20 years before you're actually put to death sometimes. So can you imagine that? Like not knowing what day? So that could be like horrible misery. So that could be maybe worse, depending on how quick you're put to death, you know? If it's like after a few years, then yeah, I guess it seems like, oh, did they really suffer? They only had to be in there a couple of years, but if it's like 10, 15, 20 years, then yeah, that might be okay. It's Enon and it's up in his neck. Wait, what? I think Enon is in it up to, oh, okay, okay. Has he been doing any more interviews lately? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like that's what made me I realized when we were talking about it one other time kind of recently. I was like, that might be horrible. I mean, can you imagine like not knowing? And then being put to death, that could be, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jenna. Yep. Getting to live even in the cell is better than death. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess they do get used to they have their own little society in prison. So I guess it ends up maybe being kind of like a normal life for him in a way, you know? Okay, tell me more about Enon though. Like what's been coming out? Has he done any interviews or is it just the drug connection because he was a drug dealer and Bryan was a drug addict and maybe that's where he was going? Is that just the basics or is there more to that points to it? It's people that's been following it. Can you guys let me know? Like, is there 20 years probably won't have the death penalty anywhere. Illinois let many off the hook, Mark. Yeah. Oh yeah, Kenny Knackers. Oh Lord, I didn't even think about that. I did. Well, I've just been in jail, not like time where I spent years, but even like a few days was like, oh, the food, ugh, and just like not having the freedom. But then then I feel like then you kind of end up getting used to like the initial shock. It's like freaking cultural shock and I mean like shock on how you have to live and how. But then like I feel like after years, then you get used to the flow of things, and that's just your life, you know. But yeah, at first it would be really hard. You have no like rights in there, you know. You get told when you could eat, when you could do this, when you could do that, when you have to sleep, you know. Anyone that's done time would say death is worse. I disagree because there's some people that have a heart in prison that get beat up, get killed in there. You know what I'm saying? That gets like abused. I mean, it depends on what kind of life you make in there, you know? And once you're dead, you're dead. You're not suffering anymore, right though? So I don't know about that. I could see both sides is my whole point. Death row is much harsher than prison, solitary for 23 hours. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, exactly, Juliet. That's exactly what I was saying. Is you're gonna have different experiences. So maybe for some people, it's well, why is that? Yeah, maybe for some people it's better, but for some it could be worse because you just don't know everybody's gonna have a different experience. Yeah. Does Bryan get to see info on evidence on the case? I have been wondering how much he is exposed to. Bothers me that some sickos might enjoy. Yeah, they get the discovery. I mean, he'll get the discovery and get the information. I mean, that's a lot. He has to. He has a right to. So yeah. And now I don't know when he'll get it, but before the trial, yeah, definitely. They'll get to see it. Him and his defense and him, yeah. Because yeah, that's his right. That's his discovery. Um, yeah. Yeah, well, how many kill themselves in prison? Yeah. So they must, that they'd rather be dead than be in prison. So yeah, it just depends. B9381. That's what we're saying. Yeah, they do if they had the opportunity. The reason it probably doesn't happen as much is because they try to take away all ways for you to do it. But if they would have like ways, I think it would happen way more often. But you got to get creative and probably the ways you have to come up with are probably like, but like if they had like opportunities, I think they would. Um, I don't know, doctor. That's what I'm trying to get information, but nobody answered. I'm trying to like, what is it like besides the whole drug dealer theory? Like, is there more that is pointing to him? Is there anything more? Please answer. Wait, that sounds mean. I'm being serious because I know a lot of you guys. There's some people that are following it like every little everything, so you guys probably know more. Even in life sentence, if you're in prison for the full 10 years. That's horrible. Oh, wait, you were in prison? I know there's some people, Dr. Tanya J, that are thinking that he maybe framed Kohberger, Bryan. Now, the thing that I can't get over, what about the car? Like lining up, like how the different cameras where they're tracing his car back to Washington. And I know, that could be anybody's car, but it's just too many things line up that was his car going back there. So what's the explanation there? That he was just going to Enid's that night and then goes home, but then oh, I guess, and then maybe Enid just goes over there and kills him after Bryan leaves or something. I guess it could work that way. And then he takes his knife and frames him. Yeah, it's a possibility. But is there anything else that we're missing? Yeah, I know that's the rumor going around that that's the connection, but like, is there like a for sure connection? Like, has anybody made like anything more than that? Like any confirmation? That's all. I'm just curious. Has there any been like any like, oh, well, his friend is, friends with this friend, how you can make connections like on, well, see, Bryan wasn't big on social media, so it's gonna be hard to find a connection there. Um, I know, dude. Have they decided if it's gonna be on video yet? I hope. I think it will. It's up to the judge, right? And I'm thinking they will. Because it's like one of the biggest cases. I'm thinking they will, but I don't know because Vallow only you can only get the audio. It just sucks. And that was like a huge case, and that was Idaho. So I don't know. I hope, dude. If not, it's gonna be so frustrating to not be able to. I mean, I know the news people will be in there and taking notes probably and report back to what's going on, but just to actually see it ourselves, it's gonna suck if it's not. But I guess we'll see. Well, that's not even guaranteed though, right? I was just saying the Vallow just has audio, but I don't even know if that's guaranteed that we'll get audio. I mean, she could. I don't know, Jenna. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So they think because he's like maybe his drug dealer because he has been known to deal drugs. Enid, Bryan's an addict. So they think maybe that he was visiting him. That's all. I think it's just a theory. Like I don't think there's any for sure like concrete evidence. But that's what I'm asking, Jenna. I don't know. It could though, and because he was kind of weird. Like that one interview when they asked if he killed them. Yeah, he laughed. That part wasn't the weird thing. Like how he went on to talk about what he went on to talk about after that, it was just very odd. How he like, yeah, he kind of giggled and then he like where he changed the subject and went on to talk, it was just very odd. and it just didn't sit well with me. I should find that. Hold on, let's watch that. Do you guys want to watch that? I know, me too, Tanya. Life sent to someone else struggling with life outside. Do you guys want to watch it or no? Let me finish playing this. Let me know if you guys want to watch it, if I could find it.
Kaylee Gonsalves' family.
Man, I
and
gotta
again,
remember.
her father saying that she did have those defensive wounds. Do we know, Caitlin, if the photos were downloaded from social media or they were actually taken with the camera?
You know, we don't know that. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a mix of both. And I have to tell you, I was at the crime scene and I spent a significant amount of time around the house. And depending on where you stand, you have a clear vantage point into every single window in that home. So it is very plausible that someone outside of the home could have photographed one or more of these girls inside of their home with them having no idea. The way this house is positioned kind of left them like sitting ducks.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to find this because I think I have it in a text somewhere, that interview, because he does a lot of interviews. So hold on a second. Let me try to find it. Would you guys want to watch it again or no? I haven't watched it in a while. Just since now everybody's talking about it and there's a lot of people that are thinking that he's involved now. And I don't know if it's just, let me try to find this. Hold on. I think I know who sent it to me, but I got to find. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think it's right here. Here we go. Yeah, she's got it. Cool. Okay, so hold on a second. Let me exit this. Let me send this to share. Hold on one second. It's supposed to be this. Wait 1 minute. Okay, so she even has a time stamped for me. If this is the right one, 17:30. Okay. Well, let me get it. Bring it up over here. I forget. It's been a while since I watched it, actually. All right. Okay, what was it? 17:30. It's supposed to be. If she's got the right spot. Okay, let me share. Hopefully this is the right one. It's from Unsolved Crimes. All right, let's see.
I honestly need to get my fucking composure because I'm honestly
I'm gonna go get something when I'm playing this. Be right back.
No. Not gonna work that.
Wait a minute. Why'd that do that? Am I losing internet? Can you guys still see me? Hold on. Am I at an, oh, I'm at an hour. So we'll watch this and then I'll call it a night. I wanted to keep it at an hour. Wonder why it's not. Let me try it again real quick. Huh. Okay, 17:30.
They were going to
All right, here we go.
they were going a couple houses down there. I was just kind of,
Okay, here we go. I got it. Okay, let's see. Okay.
like falling asleep. And it's interesting because, like normally on a Saturday night, you hear a bunch of screams, right? There's parties, people yelling, people walking by. That particular night it was pretty quiet. Like I heard and like I kind of just dismissed it as the party scream, like when I was dozing off, but it wasn't like, I don't know, it didn't seem super unordinary to me, but I was also just like half asleep. And the only other thing I remember that night was, there was like one neighbor that returned home while I was sleeping and closed their door. So I heard like two door shuts, the car door and the apartment door. Another thing I just kind of dismissed, and I still don't think that's important. And yeah, that's kind of, the only like other thing I found that was kind of interesting is a couple weeks, I don't want to say a couple weeks, but a few weeks before, I picked up a couple of hitchhikers on campus, right? They were trying to go to the next party and it was really cold and they're like, we're not trying to walk or whatever. and they were going to a couple houses down. They're going to like a party over there or whatever, and like the girl's pretty cute. She was kind of hitting on me, and I was like, oh, this girl's pretty cool. The dude in the back was like, he was a little bit sketched out. He's like, yo, like, people know where we are if you try to kill us. Like, people know where we are. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, bro. I'm just like, talking to this girl. She's pretty cute. And like, you're like thinking I'm not going to stab you. I'm literally just giving you a ride. Oh, I had to get some gas first. So maybe they were like a little bit
Hold on.
sketched out. We took like a detour. But
Hold on. When was this?
this was like, I think November, like early November. I remember it was snowing. So it was like, it was winter, but it was like a little bit ago. But it was, yeah, it was winter. So pretty recently, but not, like it was a while, like a little bit a while ago. But yeah, they were from, what was interesting to me is they were from Coeur d'Alene. And, I know some of the people that were in the house are also from Coeur d'Alene. And, just like the dude being like sketched out, like it kind of gave me like a vibe. I was like, did someone in Moscow like threaten him earlier or something? Like, is there some like weird dude? And this dude's like, like scared or something? Because he brought it up multiple times, and I was just like, I didn't think I was very scary, but like, I guess when you're hitchhiking, whatever. But they were only going like, like half a mile or whatever. But after events, like I've been thinking about it. I'm like, yo, like, what if this dude was threatened by somebody? Like, what if there's like some guy like going around who's making people feel really uncomfortable? So I don't know. I don't really think anything of it. I think it was just like the dude was really drunk. He went on a detour for get some gas, and he thought something. But I don't know. Like after these recent events, like maybe there is something more to it. I don't know.
So I obviously got a couple of questions, and I hope you have the time for that. Otherwise, I would not ask you to do a live.
Oh, you're good. I got about 15 minutes. So.
That's fine. That's fine. What is the nearest camera within the Greek area?
That's a good question. I don't really know, honestly. It's Moscow. I don't think there's very many cameras, like in general. Well, my apartment didn't have really any lights or cameras. Like it was like a really kind of dark area. They recently put up lights and like motion sensor cameras that go out after like a certain hours, I think. I'm sure some like neighbors had some cameras, but this is Moscow. I'd be surprised if there were any in that area. You know what I mean? Like people leave their doors unlocked here before this. People leave their windows unlocked. Like it's a safe town,
Oh, no. Oh, fair. And within that house, you obviously are the neighbor, right? And you live in the brick part of the apartment, right?
The brick part? No, I think the apartments I'm in are wood, but.
Oh no, that is fine. Just to get a clear picture. Is there any way? Because I have seen like videos that only extend like to the wooden part of in front of the house. But if you go in front of the house, is there any way that you can go on foot? Is there like any walkway?
I think so. I think there's, it's like, I think there's like the driveway like out front. So I think they just go out front, and I think most of the side is open. Like there's the driveway out front, but I think all all sides of the house are accessible. Because I know when I would
also from the back then. So you do not necessarily
the back. So that's where I think possibly the killer came, because the back area is pretty desolate. Most of the people who live in apartments, they park close to their doors, which is on the other side. And if you go the other side, then like it's like kind of like a dark parking lot, and it's right above that house. And usually it's only full when there's like parties and like other people are trying to use this parking lot. But like I would go over there and spin fire sometimes, just because it's like, it's like kind of off in the corner, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think if someone was doing it, that would be a place to go in and out without being seen or really heard. The only people that go over there is like people who take their dogs out and stuff, and not very many people taking their dogs out at 3 a.m. or whatever. So yeah, the back of the house was definitely, that's where the yard is too, and that's where they have their small little gatherings. So it's like you can park anywhere on that side of the hill, and you can just walk down, and there's their sliding door.
So Enan, I'm gonna bother you one more time because I totally forgot this to ask this actually on Facebook though. Can you send like an angle, just to me privately though, because I'm curious about that. Just an angle on where you live and where the house is, so I can get like a bigger picture out of that.
Yeah, I
Because
can
I
do that.
always thought, to be honest, that you lived in the brick area. So if you go like into that brick apartment part, like behind the building on the left side, I thought you lived there, but
Yeah,
apparently
that's
I'm
where I
wrong.
am.
So yeah,
I guess
I do not know
maybe it is
shit.
brick. I've never really noticed, but yeah. See, the inside of my apartment's wood, but it probably is brick. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So, but yeah, I can send you some pictures too. And then you can just like, kind of scope out the area in general for your personal interest.
No, but go ahead, tell your story, man. Like I said, I want to hear your story, and
Oh, I
you're
mean,
getting a lot of hatred, of course. But
yeah, I guess after that, I was I'm pretty much a hermit. I spent all my time like in my house going to work. Sometimes I go out with some friends or whatever, but like, I was just living my life. And then I was taking out the trash out one day and some random dude approached me and asked me some questions, and he was talking about the white Hyundai, and so I was like, oh, this guy's got some information, like should like talk to him a little bit. So and then I was just like talking to him like, oh, it's like Boise statesman, probably small time. And then like I go to work the next day and they're like, bro, like you're famous on the internet. And they're like making all those quotes and like so yeah, and I was just like, whoa, and like we was just like looking at all like the Reddit conspiracies and like like looking at some of the news articles, and like I mean like it's hard not to laugh at like some of just like the straight insanity of how much this blew up. I'm like, yo, like I'm just a dude taking out trash. Like, yo, I like was thinking really hard on the case and thought I might have heard a scream. Like I had like, and I like there's like a few like vehicles I saw that I could remember that I tried to like say just in case it would help.
that is
But like
black. That's a black luxury. I just saw that comment here.
yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
where did
I
you
was
see
like,
it,
I was just thinking of like any cars that I normally don't see that night, and I was like, that's the only one I could remember. So,
have you ever been contacted by Moscow PD?
Yeah, they came the very first night of the murder. They came and knocked to my door. They asked everyone questions. I don't think they ever released that information because they didn't, for obvious reasons. They're trying to keep their investigation private and stuff. But yeah, they came in, talked to everybody. And I talked to them once after that, and yeah, that's it. I think someone was telling me they're coming by yesterday and trying to say what?
Really, yesterday?
Yeah, I wasn't home though, so if they tried to knock on my door, they didn't get me. So, but yeah, they said the FBI was going around
obvious
asking
reasons,
questions.
For obvious reasons, I'm gonna ask you: are you the killer?
No, I think that's obvious to anyone who's not a completely stupid or flat earther or I don't know. I guess it might look kind of crazy, just because of my life or whatever, but I don't know. The recent article too, I was looking at Fox News. They said, and like I said, I take everything the media says with a grain of salt, but they were saying that the knife was kind of like a loose term to describe it, because they're now like saying it's more of like a bigger like blunt object and from like a really strong man. So apparently there was like big gate gouges in them and stuff. So I'm kind of picturing like it's kind of interesting in this area because some of the surrounding areas have a history of lead poisoning. So we've got like some of the locals in like surrounding areas, we've got like some lead poisoning issues, and I'm kind of just like almost envisioning like we all got a cult here too, which is kind of interesting to me. And then we have so I'm just like imagining like some like hunter dude maybe.
Cult?
Yeah, we've got there's these people.
The whole incel thing, right?
Say what?
The whole incel thing. At least that's what I read. Or
well, we have this community called Christ Church here, and they're like they're nationalists. They advocate like violence under God, and they're also they wrote a book about revisiting the concept of slavery and described like slavery as a handshake between the white and the black man. And they're pretty sexist. They're like, they think your wife should be disciplined or she won't and they're like, if your wife's not hot and it's because you didn't like discipline her enough. And like, they're pretty crazy. They've got a lot of weird ideals. And a lot of the girls that leave their church come out pretty traumatized, and they have they've got like a history of like molestation and like rape that happens over there. So like they're also really rich, and they're national too. So they've been buying a lot of the Moscow buildings and then trying to put their businesses in it. And they say they're trying to turn Moscow into like a Christian town. And so they definitely have an agenda. This dude does like speeches, and he's like really well known, but like, to most of the community members, he's like completely batshit crazy. Now his name's Doug Wilson. You guys can look him up. He's got a bunch of crazy books he's wrote. Yeah. So I don't know, but like, I'm not saying they did it, but I'm saying like I could see like, something associated with them could turn into a killer or something. But also I'm also thinking, like our lead poisoning issues, and then just like, this was describing like a big man. Like in Idaho, we've got a lot of like big hunter dude vibes with like blunt objects that I feel like could do this. So I'm like imagining someone just like, like going off and like, I don't know, hiding in the bushes or something. Like they're waiting for like a deer, and then like waiting for like the whole like neighborhood to get quiet, and then go in and do that shit. You know what I mean? So that's my most recent theory, but I don't know. It's a weird ass case.
You before I try to stick to the facts, obviously, but what do you mean?
Yeah, I mean it's so interesting to think about, because like one, stabbings don't really happen in Moscow. They don't happen like this, and also it's like, it's kind of scary because it happens to sorority girls, and it's like if it happens to these like normal ass people, kind of makes you feel like it could happen to anyone. Like I don't know. It's just for such a non-evidence crime, these seem like such an unlikely target. You know what I mean? Like if it was like cartel profession.
How did you get that there was no evidence, though?
I mean, I don't want to say no evidence, but like not enough evidence to like close the case. And they've been on this case for like how many weeks now, and like it almost feels like they don't have like even a suspect. And I don't know. I feel like most of like the murders or violence that happens in this area is located pretty quick. You know what I mean? Like when I was in high school, there's a dude that was shot, and they found him like within like 2 days. You know what I mean? And so like for this case going on this long, it's really kind of fascinating.
What do you think what happened though?
I really don't know. Like I think I'm thinking of a few possibilities. Maybe like some dude went in to like rape the girl, and they weren't like expecting to find her boyfriend there, so he just like went crazy and killed a bunch of people. I'm also thinking maybe just like a serial killer who gets off on killing girls. Maybe like some dude who's like really professional, is really good at it, and goes around just doing it. I'm also, I mean, I don't want to cause any more suspects, but I was looking at that incident from the grub truck. I wonder if there was like, a friend of someone who's got beef with them. Say what?
Believe me, he's not it. He's not it.
Okay, word. Thanks. That's reassuring actually. But yeah, no, I don't. It's so bizarre to me, because like when I think about a motive behind it, my mind it draws so many blanks. You know what I mean? So it's hard to think outside of like psychopath or because like I don't know, just the thought of like a high schooler that had some beef with her, or like someone that had beef from college with her or something, like it just doesn't make sense to me. So I'm really leaning on some like professional killer, or I really don't know, dude.
There's a hard definition between a serial killer and like a professional killer, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's the same thing, right? Yeah, it's weird, dude. Like, I don't know. When I think about
I'm gonna give you. I did this once before, and it actually gives up a lot of insight. See, you live there. A lot of people don't actually. And if you see, I can turn myself into the mind of a killer and do like a probable thing that I would do. But you actually live there, so you have more like probability on the things that you would do. Because I do not think that individual went in the front entrance in any single way. I think
You think it was
came in
multiple
from the
people?
back. But that's my opinion.
No. I
You know?
think it was from the back for sure. I think they went in through the sliding door. I'm almost like, I don't want to say I'm certain, but you know, that just makes the most sense for me. You know what I mean? Because that's the most accessible area.
Wait, how far back does he say that? Because I want to hear it. That her thing. How far back was that, Julia? Did it just happen when you said that? Because I want to hear that. I have appeared. Hold on. Let me see. How far? Not far. 2 minutes. Okay. That should be good, right? Okay, let's play. That's
Suspect, you know,
that's
and
crazy if he
I don't
said
know. I
that.
feel like most of like the murders or violence that happens in this area is located pretty quick. You know what I mean? Like when I was in high school, there's a dude that was shot and they found him like within like 2 days. You know what I mean? And so like for this case going on this long, it's really kind of fascinating.
What do you think what happened though?
You know, I really don't know. Like I think I'm thinking of a few possibilities, you know, maybe like some dude went in to like rape the girl and they weren't like expecting to find her boyfriend there, so he just like went crazy and killed a bunch of people. I'm also thinking maybe just like a serial killer who gets off on killing girls, maybe like some dude who's like really professional, is really good at it and goes around just doing it. I'm also, I mean, I don't want to, you know, cause any more suspects, but I was looking at that incident from the grub truck. I wonder if there was like, you know, a friend of someone who's got beef with them. Say what?
Believe me, he's not it. He's not it.
Okay, word. Thanks. That's reassuring actually. But yeah, no, I don't. It's so bizarre to me because like when I think about, you know, a motive behind it, my mind it draws so many blanks, you know what I mean? So it's hard to think outside of like psychopath or, you know, because like, I don't know, just the thought of like a high schooler that had some beef with her or like someone that had beef from college with her or something, like it just doesn't make sense to me, you know? So I'm really leaning on
Wait. I want to rewind that again.
or like, I don't know, just like psych mind it draws so, because like when I think about, you know, a motive behind it, my mind it draws so many blanks, you know what I mean? So it's hard to think outside of like psychopath or, you know, because like, I don't know, just the thought of like a high schooler that had some beef with her or like someone that had beef from college with her or something, like it just doesn't make sense to me, you know? So I'm really leaning on.
Dude, that's crazy because that's a good catch, Juliet, because to him, like if he is involved, like he has a certain person that he targeted. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's who he would be talking about. But any other person would look at it as a bigger picture like them. But the fact that he said her, it makes you do think that it's him. Because the killer probably did have one person he was targeting. And he's like, it sounds like he's referring to that person. Otherwise, like, why would he say her? That yeah. Oh my God. Wow. That's a good one. I'm going to timestamp this. I'm going to make a short out of this because this is like a big thing here. 32:35. Wait, why is that? Hold on. Let me find the timestamp real quick.
Some like professional killer or
I don't remember if I rewound it.
Some like to me, you know, so it's beef from college, a high schooler that had some beef because like
32.
I don't know, just the thought of like a high schooler that had some beef with her or like
That's
someone that had
crazy.
beef from college with her or something, like It just doesn't make sense to me, you know. So I'm really leaning on some like professional killer or
Julia, maybe you could help me think of a way to word that where I make sense of why. I mean, I think it's pretty explainable. I mean, you hear it and you could pretty much understand it, but like to put it into words why that's a big deal. So hopefully I'll be able to. That's my weakness sometimes. Like I understand it in my head, but like to put it into words, then people are like, oh, and then they misunderstand what I'm saying. But wow, okay. That's definitely a big thing right there. It really
or
is. Huh. Wow.
I really don't know, dude.
There's a hard difference between a serial killer
And the one more thing, when he said that a blunt object, was that even out that there was a blunt object at that time? And it's still there. Nobody ever talked about a blunt object. So that makes me think he has more knowledge, right? Like what he said about the guy had to be strong because, that whole spiel. Like, where did he get that information from? Yeah, exactly, Danielle. Why her, not them? It's because if, let's say he did it, then it would be in his head, it is one person that he targeted, right? And then the others were just like collateral damage. But otherwise, like from an outsider's perspective, they would look at it as them. Like, who is he thinking? So remember, he does say, like, before that, he talks about like possible scenarios, and he says maybe the guy was going in there to rate our Xana and didn't know he had a boyfriend or didn't know she had a boyfriend. So then that makes you wonder, maybe his target was Xana if he is because like why did he use that as a example? He pointed out Xana, but I don't know. I mean, that could have just been to throw it off if he is indeed involved. And that would be okay. Let's say he does know Bryan. That would have been a perfect way to frame him. If he had his knife, knows that there's probably his DNA on it. Does it a day that Bryan goes to his house, so then it looks like, his GPS, his car is coming from there. But why is the phone either on airplane mode or turned off or left at home? Whatever Bryan did in that period. If Bryan isn't involved, why would he try to hide that? Like, is it just a coincidence that, his phone died at that time, or was it purposely, intentionally done so they can't track him to the house? So that there are still things that does point back to Bryan now. Huh. Wow. All right. Let's see if there's anything else we could pick up on.
Like a professional killer, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, I guess it's the same thing, right? Yeah, it's weird, dude. Like, I don't know. When I think about
I'm gonna give you I did this once before, and it actually gives up a lot of insight. See, you live there. A lot of people don't.
I wonder if we should get some
And
mind
if
ideas
you
too.
see, I can turn myself into the mind of a killer and do like a probable thing that I would do. But you actually live there, so
it's
you have
Maddie?
more like probability on the things that you would do. Because I do not think that individual went in the front entrance in any single way. I think
you think it was multiple people?
Back, but that's my opinion.
No. I think it was from the back for sure. I think they went in through the sliding door. I'm almost like, I don't want to say I'm certain, but
Whoa, is that a slip? He was almost going to say, I'm almost certain. And then he caught himself and he's like, I don't want to say I'm certain. Hold on. Well, I'm going to put down some timestamps where I want to go back. So 33. Okay. What was I going to say to one of your guys' comments? Hold on a second. Oh, yeah. I think there's a good chance Bryan was involved. I do. What if they both were? And then he left the sheath there purposely so it looked just like Bryan. I don't know. So maybe he went and killed Xana, and since he did bring up a scenario with Xana, and then Bryan went up to Meg. But then Dylan seeing one guy. Oh, I don't know. It's confusing, guys. She didn't say she saw 2 guys. She saw 1, unless if one of them was already out of the house, maybe. No, I know, but Julie, the fact that he stopped himself, though, if he wasn't like had anything to worry about, why did he stop himself for saying I'm certain? You know what I'm saying? The fact that he did that is kind of maybe like suspicious, because like, oh shoot, I don't want to make it seem like I know for sure. So he stopped himself. And we would just say like, oh, for certain. Cause I mean, we think that, right? We wouldn't have any reason to like stop ourselves and be like, oh, but it could be nothing. It could be innocent. But that her thing is a big thing. Let's see if we can catch anything else.
You know, that just makes the most sense for me. You know what I mean? Because that's the most accessible area to the house, right? And I feel like sliding doors would be easier to break in than front doors.
What were the
think so.
aesthetics of that night, Enan? I mean, you came at home. I mean,
it was. You know, it was surprisingly
drive the car.
It was surprisingly, yeah, I was driving. It was surprisingly empty. You know, sometimes we have like cops will like post like speed traps on that road. I think it's Blake Road, because you know, there'll be like drunk college kids they're trying to catch, but they weren't there. So, and there weren't a lot of cars in the parking lot. Usually at that time, there's a lot of cars because there's like parties around the area. But it was, for Saturday, it was surprisingly empty. You know what I mean?
Huh. So he was aware, paying attention to that. Where does he exactly live from? Which apartments does he live in? Because he knows the parking lot was empty. Why would he even be, paying attention that close? Well, I mean, I guess if I need to know where he lives. I know he lives close, but does anybody have an exact address? You could send me just so I could kind of see you.
That was like the only thing I really noticed strange about that night.
That cop also said that, right, Heather? I mean, remember that entire body cam footage that we said?
Mm-hmm.
It was surprisingly silent.
Yep. And they were all out in plain clothes that night too, so
yeah,
they were hiding.
Weird.
Yeah, so weird.
I was actually joking. Oh, go ahead.
So like leading up to a month ago, November 13th, when all of this happened, you didn't witness any confrontation and parties or anything whenever you came home, nothing leading up to
I think you need to repeat that.
Yeah,
you're cutting off a bit.
Okay, let me repeat it. So, leading up to the night that all this happened, you being a close neighbor, you didn't notice any confrontations, anything in the weeks leading up to this?
No, I was at work from 1 p.m. to like about 12 a.m. and then I stayed a little bit after, just bullshitting with some coworkers. So yeah, I was at work all day, and then I went home, and it was already pretty quiet by the time I was there.
So you obviously have been getting a lot of hate, and I know the individuals that gave you a lot
Can
of
you
hate
send it?
actually contradict to the things that you are actually are being.
CB9381, can you send me that other interview? I like to go through it. I don't know if I'll go through it live, but either way, I want to go through it sometime. Which one? Because I know he's done a few interviews. I know he did one with the Hidden True Crime podcast, right?
Said, especially that fake video. I think that's disgusting. Did an entire video out of it. And like I said, I'm an honest dude, and I thought as well that just by sheer text that you were a sketchy motherfucker. But
yeah, you could try, but I don't know if it lets you. Try real quick, and then if not, it might not let you, so you might have to email me. My email here. I'll just put my email.
You're all right. What would you like to say to this individual?
What's the channel? Can you say the channel?
I love my post though, because I know he's watching. Because what would you like to say to this individual that made this video? Or
I mean, I haven't even seen the video. I try to ignore most of this stuff, but I mean, Lol. Fuck, damn. I mean, I don't know, dude. It's kind of fucked up that you're trying to get fame off of, like, making fake videos, especially when it's a murder crime. But I mean, fuck, dude. Do what you do, I guess. Like, I mean, I just think it's kind of silly. Like, I don't think it's helping you at all, but good luck. Yeah, I don't know.
So
It's crazy, dude. I'm not gonna try to hate on the people hating on me, but like, it's kind of ridiculous.
no, exactly. You see, and that's why I'm giving you a podium, because a lot of people see. I can get over all the hate that individuals actually tell, because I actually want to hear a genuine story. And it's not my first vote, because I did it with the Delphi case, and I am doing this with you as well, because the story always have two sides. It's not always one-sided, and generally people are judgmental, and that's fine. That is totally fine, but it's up to you if you actually give a fuck.
For sure. I appreciate that, dude. Yeah, I agree too. So thanks for the podium, dude. I got a jet. I've got some things I gotta get ready for. But thanks for hosting me, dog. Thanks for your show. And
No worries. We'll talk to you
yeah.
later. And actually, thank you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, good luck with your with the rest of your show.
Thank you.
Peace
See
out.
ya.
Okay.
Guys, thanks for actually joining. Yeah, that
Oh, wait, I thought I paused it. Okay. Let me remove this. I don't know, Essay. I'm thinking a lot of people, they'll be like, I didn't even get a notification. So I think my algorithms got really screwed up when I took like almost 2 weeks off. I took like a week and a half off, and that like messes with like how YouTube shares your videos or whatever. So then people stop getting notified, and I don't know. I get a lot of people, emailing and messaging like I'm not getting notified. So it could be partly that. I don't know. But with YouTube channels, it goes up and down. Like the 4 years I've been doing it, like you'll have like spurts, you go high, there'll be a case that brings you up, and then it'll go back down. It's like a roller coaster with the channels. And I think it does have a lot to do with the algorithms and the way YouTube does it. Like sometimes they'll recommend cases more, and sometimes they don't. So it's not consistent. But yeah. Who's Brent, Drew? See, I haven't been keeping up. Can you guys, Brent? Let me see what you sent me. Okay, wait. I didn't get your email. You said you sent it? Where you at? Did you send it to my email? Because if you sent it in the chat, it didn't come through, because maybe sometimes like it goes to spam if it's a link. Unless if it's mods, sometimes it doesn't work. So guy who was killed by SWAT. Oh, okay. Oh, so people is there a connection between Brent and this guy? So people are thinking that, okay. Oh, Kayla, yay. Well, not yay that you're having a bad day. Sorry you're having a bad day. Cheer up, yeah. Just search okay. But I think he does multiple ones, and I want to know which one you're saying is good. Do you remember who it is? Like who's doing the interview that's good? Here, we'll do one more, and then I'll probably call it a night. I always go longer than I say, huh? I know. Yeah, Juliet. Wait, no, between Brent and Enan, you mean? Man, you gotta fill me in. Like, I'm lost on this case. I got so sucked into the murder that I don't know. I didn't know these connections. I'm gonna have to go on some of the groups and see what I missed. Here's the one I was talking about with the hidden true crime. Is this the one? Hold on, let me. S. Well, I want to call you something for short. I'm gonna call you S. Is this the one you're talking about or no? Let me know. I've always. Oh, thanks, Dancing Danielle. Do you remember where that was said? I don't know what you're. Okay, let's play this. I did watch some of this. I feel
Hello,
like
everyone. This is Lauren Matthias. Please subscribe and hit the like button so you can get these unexpected live streams. I have a very important guest with me right now, somebody that I hope can bring us more insight. I am with, will you pronounce your name? Enan?
Enon Harsh.
Enon Harsh. Also known as Chef Dizzy, as you see there. Enon is a very, very important part of this Moscow.
yeah, he does have a record. I've actually brought up his record in one of my lives. I don't know which one, but he was arrested. It was like drugs. And I think there might have been some other little things. I'll have to go in my files and see if I could find it, if that's what you're referring to. I don't know if I'm going to watch this all, but I'm going to watch this definitely myself, but it's 40 minutes. So I don't think I'm going to watch it all right here. I do want to end it soon. It's already going on 2 hours. Let me just watch a few minutes and then I'll try to go through it and see if I could pick out anything, but
homicide investigation because he was a neighbor of the 4 victims who lived on King Street. And I just want you to share with us what you know. Many also have heard of the neighbor that possibly heard a scream. This is that person that I have with me now. So let everyone know this is going on. We'll try to take some questions as well, but right now I'm going to start with my questions because I have a lot of them. I want to thank you for being here. And first off, I think we should just start by taking us back to that night. The things I've heard in the news from you, Enon, are that it was an unexpectedly quiet night. You wrote about the crime on social media, and share what you remember from that night. Is that a good place for us to start right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I work about like 10, usually like 9 to 11-hour shifts. So I went to work. I got off around, I think it was around 12 that night. It was kind of like a late close, and I like bullshitted with like a coworker for a little while after work, and then I went home. It was around, I don't know, like 1:30, 2-ish a.m. It was maybe when I got home, maybe I'm always like kind of hoping that I have like a parking spot right in front of my door when I get there, because like lots of times on campus, there's like parties and like they're pretty full. And so like this time I noticed that like, I don't know, it wasn't really any cars as usual. I was like, cool, I'm gonna get a nice spot right in front. And there was I did, and I saw like this sort of like kind of like decked out like luxury, like I thought it was black SUV, maybe like a Beamer or something, and it had like rims, tinted windows, and I was like, oh, that's like a pretty cool car. And then like coming out, I noticed some like plates from like Arizona, I want to say, or Montana. There's kind of like it's like I'm always like kind of curious what kind of like different plates are like around and stuff, because usually you just see like Idaho, especially in like my parking lot. And so like I came in, and it was like surprisingly like pretty empty that night. Like none of the houses and like that on those like 2 streets were having parties, which was like kind of unusual. And then I went home, was like making some tea, just like doing some contact staff drills and like stretching. I think I played a game of League, and then I went to bed. And then as I was falling asleep, it usually takes me like 30 minutes to an hour to fall asleep. Like, I don't know, I guess, I dismissed like initially like like one of my neighbors returning hello after me. So I heard like, a car shut, a door shut, and then like, apartment door shut, and like also like a scream. But like, that's like normal. Like I always hear like screaming almost every Saturday night. So like I didn't really like think of it. And so, but like, yeah, just looking back, I was like, I wonder if like, that wasn't just like some drunk dude like screaming, like it's actually like the murder. And yeah, and it was like, it was kind of a trip having like the cops like come on and like, when what happened, they're just like, asking.
Wait, he's still going with the scream? Because remember he posted that where he didn't hear anything? I gotta find this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna dig into him, you guys. I might end it here shortly. I'm gonna see what I could find because there's so many people that I didn't realize there was a lot of people that were thinking that he was involved. I mean, I didn't realize there was people, but I didn't realize that there was so much, I guess. Like it's such a like I thought more was thinking it was Bryan, but it seems like Moore thinks that there's more involved. It seems, huh? Like there's something else involved, someone else involved. Yeah, his story is changing, but I don't know. I want to find that post that I think it was a Facebook, right? Where he says that he didn't hear anything. So that's just weird. I'll do 2 more minutes.
Where we were, and we're like, this is weird. Like they're knocking on every single door in our apartment. Like that's never happened before. And then like I went inside and looked on the news, and it was like 4 people stabbed to death. I was like, it's like right across the street. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. When did you hear about it? Was it those knocks on the door? You woke up the next day? Did these knocks on your apartment door wake up? How did you learn about it?
I was already awake. I was just like woke up a little bit. I was still like drinking coffee, and like the cops knocked on my door, and like after they asked me some questions, like right after they left and they were starting to talk to the next door over. I looked on my phone and Googled it and found it pretty much instantly, and that's when I knew. And then I think it was like I don't know, a couple of days later when we like the names were released and we like found out who it was or whatever.
Okay, that was the question I was going to ask. Like, did you initially know that you knew them at all, or did you?
No, actually, when I first saw it, I saw the picture. I thought it was actually the house, like the next house over. I was like, oh. But then when I found out it was like, the house of the people that I like, I don't want to say I knew them, but I was like met them. Then I was like, damn. And I don't know, it was kind of sad because actually, like they were super cool. Like I really like my neighbors.
Yeah, you'd met them, is that correct? You'd met Kaylee, and who else had you met?
I think it was Santa and her boyfriend.
Okay.
And I think there's like some other people there, but I'm really bad with names, so like I think like I had to like look at online like the faces to try to like remember them because it was just like it was super brief, But yeah, they were super nice. They're super friendly. Like,
oh
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
they're like the best neighbors you could want.
I have a question here that you mentioned hearing a lot of sounds typically from the neighbors. Is this because it's highly populated, poorly insulated? Tell us a little bit about the neighborhood, because a lot of us, all we see is only on the news. We're trying to grasp what this neighborhood is like.
I guess you would say it's kind of like an amphitheater here. It's like they live kind of like down like the hill, and then it's like a big open space. Everything's made of wood for the most part, and like they would have little like gatherings outside on their like in the back door, and so I mean, and then they're like drinking a little bit, and it's Greek Row, so it's like you can usually hear like parties and like just like
Okay, I think I'm gonna end it, guys. And who said that don't waste my time? I do think they have the right person. I think Bryan. I think I lean more towards I think Bryan's the right guy. But of course I have a little bit of doubt, so I would like to look into it because some things just are kind of it's not until I see maybe the law enforcement has like a lot more evidence. Until I see that, like it's one of those things like the Murdoch. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they got the right guy, but there's always that little bit of doubt, like, So Um, yeah, good point. People aren't, yeah, maybe. Um, Nels tells her not to look into Bryan's because police have the wrong man. Which person gets to dictate what she does? Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I'm just like, I just want to keep an open mind. That's all, you know? I don't know who's fighting. Me and Juliet just watched the the Jake Paul pay-per-view. Jake Paul and uh Tommy Fury. We watched that last Sunday. It was pretty good. Tommy won. So we had like a bet. Like I thought Jake was gonna win and she thought Tommy. So that was kind of good. That was fun. But I don't know who's fighting UFC. Because I still have the ESPN app that I had to get for the pay-per-view. I still have it for a month. So I wonder if I'll get to see it. John Jones. I don't know, Jenna. Maybe this week if I do open panel. Yeah, I know, Kayla. Yeah, because they were both undefeated. So I thought for sure Jake was gonna win, but yeah, he didn't. But Jake, like he started off, he didn't look good. Like he looked like he was nervous for the first time. Like he never usually looks nervous. He looked nervous for some reason, like going into it. He looked like tired. I don't know. He just didn't look like he normally looks. So yeah. So they're gonna do a rematch. So we'll see. I'll have to have another bet for the rematch. Yeah. Yeah, he's from Cleveland. Yeah, I know. Who else watched it? Anybody else? Um, yes, I'm in Ohio. Yep. Oh, so you think Jake should have won? Like, do you think they made the wrong decision on picking Jake? Or picking Tommy, sorry. I don't know. Yeah, brain's not so sure. Okay, Saints, Rocket Tall. See ya. Have a good one. Oh no, a headache. Shoot. Um, yeah, no, I think so. Yeah, I think that. I mean, I'm not arguing with their thing. I just think he came out. He just didn't look the way he normally looks. Like I looked like he was nervous. Normally he comes out all confident. Like that one when he fought on that Silva guy, like the guy hits him in the face and he licks his gloves. He's like, like he looks all like crazy and confident. But this one, he was all like nervous. I don't know. It just seemed like it. He just didn't seem like he normally does. So I think the rematch he'll be more ready and maybe he'll do wait, maybe he'll do better. Tommy threw twice as many strikes. Whoever thinks Jake won don't know boxing. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna argue with the judges. So yeah. So how many a lot of you guys watched it, huh? I didn't know that there's more people that were watching it. Okay, cool. Yeah, it was fun. We watched like the whole day, all the fights. It's pretty good. Julia, you had fun, right? Winning. No, I won all the other fights though. We bet on each one, which I didn't know anything about any of the other fighters, but just like we watched, see them get introduced and then pick one. But the biggest one, of course, was the Tommy. I mean, that was the main one that we were watching for. So, yeah, it was a good fight. They made it all 8 rounds. All right, guys, I'm gonna end it. Yeah, Kayla. Do you usually watch them? I've always watched the Jake ones after. I never ordered it on pay-per-view. Like I never actually ordered it live, but I'll watch them after. So this is the first time I ordered it. So, so you have to see the UFC. I don't know. Oh, good night, zombie girl. I do like watching fighting. I don't know. It's pretty entertaining. I used to like watching, I like binge watched Conor McGregor and like his fights because I like the show, the showmanship, like Jake's like that, you know, like where they get into it and they like play the character and make it really dramatic. I like that, you know. I know. Wait, how far are you from that? Are you close? Um, yeah, he's entertaining. All right, guys. Diaz brothers. Yeah, I like the Diaz brothers. I like watching them. They're entertaining too. Yeah, the hype. Yeah, me too. It makes it a lot more interesting. Hey, Caitlin. Oh, you just got here. Shoot. I'm sorry. I'm already like an hour longer than what I was going to. What? Killing who? I didn't hear about that. Good night, Ashley. Um, Youngstown, yeah, well, yeah, I'm about 50 miles west of it. Did I say that right? Yeah, west. Yeah. Um, good night, everybody. Zombie, D-Life, Kayla, Ashley. Yeah, I don't know who's. I don't know. All right, you guys, I better go. I better go. You guys have a good one. Sassy. Oh, easy buddy. Sassy suspicion sapper. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp grudge. Aw. All right. And man, good night. All right, guys. I'll see ya. Bye.